Today, I'm going to shoot a video to unbox my newly serviced Leica MP film camera. This MP, I bought it some time ago as it is a very early version of Leica MP, so it hasn't been serviced for a long time, although the mechanical condition was really good about that. But the only reason why I sent it out for service is because that for the light meter in the viewfinder, for this Leica MP, there are two arrows on the side and one center red dot to indicate that I'm having the right exposure, and the middle red dot is not flashing anymore. Although it's something minor, it's not worth it to fix it because for this Leica MP, I want to keep it for a long time. So I just sent it out for service. Usually I send out those mechanical cameras to a guy local, or I send it to YYE to service them. But as this one may require some parts, I don't think someone can be more resourceful than Leica itself to have the Leica authentic parts. That's part of the reason why I send it out to Leica for service. Another reason is that I really want to try out the service over there. And now let's open up the box. I don't know what it looks like when they send it out. They ship it out by UPS, and of course I'm the one who's paying for the shipping fee both ways. Let me open that, put those cameras on the side. Okay, so it's being protected. Oh, okay, so that's a paperwork. We are going to review it together. So we just use the bubbles to wrap up the camera, and here's my paperwork. I'll just open it up to see. So I need to have a minor repair for the viewfinder, although it's quite minor, but we still need to open up the camera. That's part of the reason why they suggest a proper CLA, because they can just kind of do it at the same time, which is easy. Let me see my point of view. So here's my service certificate. That's a service number, MP, and the date is November 13th, 2020. Actually, I sent out the camera around the middle of October, around October 15th, but they officially received the camera on October 22nd or 23rd. And they started to check on the camera and send me an estimate, and I agreed on that, so they processed it. And then roughly around 1 month, they ship it all the way back to me. And on the quote they sent to me, I noticed that they're going to replace the leather thread on my camera, and the previous one was actually in mint condition already, but this one I can see I cannot tell any difference. And this one is an early version 289 starting from, so it is having the Leica M6 ISO dial. That's part of the reason why I buy it, because I have Leica M2 or M3. I kind of like the classic look of it, but I don't like the modern cameras as like the light meters. They are electronics overall, so they're kind of fragile. That's part of the reason why I don't like to buy those. But I get to know this kind of camera on Instagram. So at the beginning of the production line of Leica MP, there are roughly 1,000 or less than 2,000 cameras which were having the M6 ISO dial. They are only available for the early versions because they are not like special versions, so no one treated them like limited edition. So most of them, they are daily drivers. But for this one, it's actually in mint condition. That makes it a bit rare, and it has the full packaging. So basically, it's like a new old stock. And now it's even better because I just serviced it. Let's hear the sound of the shutter. So that's the sound of the Leica service, fresh service. It's very quiet and soft. Of course, it's smooth. Let's hear it out. It's my first time to rotate this dial after it's been serviced. As you can see, there's no signs of use for this camera. There's no scratch anywhere or no wear, and the protector on the base plate is still attached. As I heard from the previous owner, he basically purchased it from the original owner. The original owner didn't even open up the box, and there's still the plastic film available outside of the actual paper box. So it means that it was never opened, and the previous owner opened this camera to take a look and shoot a couple of views with it, a couple rows with it, and then that's it. It's always been in his collection for quite some time without any use. Let me open it up. Yeah, basically it's very clean. Even for me, I think it's going to be in my collection most of the time. Maybe I'm going to put a leather cover on outside of the camera to take a couple of rows, because this one to me is like a collecting item. So I won't use that a lot. I have some other cameras to use daily, especially the Leica M2, which is my favorite. So in my view, the Leica M2 is actually identical to this camera, other than the self-timer. The early version of M2, they don't have the self-timer. So here is the battery cell. That's it. I think that's the only difference. And for the other stuff like the engraving, which I really like about on the Leica M2, but not on the MP, I think that part is kind of ugly to me, but it's okay. And so, is it really worth it for the service? Let's review the paperwork together. I'm going to cover my own personal information. So, right here, on October 22nd, they received my Leica MP 0.72 black paint finish, and they're going to replace the light ceiling, adjust rangefinder, adjust exposure meter, clean viewfinder optics as far as possible, adjust shutter break, adjust shutter times, replacement photo cell, and it's going to cost me $400, and flexible board and $72, leather covering $75, receiver, I think that's a part I really need, although it's only $24, but I need to pay for the whole CLA just to replace it. But I think as long as it is fully functional, everything is okay, everything is mint, I think it's reasonable to pay for that price. And ceiling strip is $1.5, ceiling is $1.5, light stop B, I don't know what that means, and it's $6. Shipping cost $35, so in total that's $615. As I'm from Canada, I shipped the camera all the way to Leica, New Jersey for service, so I need to pay for GST for 5%. In total, that's the final amount in US dollars, $645 in total. So to me, it's roughly 1,000 Canadian dollars. It is a bit expensive for sure, but as I mentioned before, this camera is basically a new camera. I don't want someone who does not have the expertise or who does not have the right part to just service a camera or put a scratch somewhere, as I know that Leica is going to treat it very well. That's part of the main reason why I sent it out. And so for those two cameras on the side, they're not just here for decorations, because I'm going to compare the service. For the Leica M2 on my left hand, I sent it out to a local guy here who was trained in Germany, and he's also German. So for this service, it cost me 250 Canadian dollars, and he usually charges between 250 to 300, depend on the make of the camera and also the complex to depend on the level of the service. So that's his signature red dot. As I loaded some film into this camera, so I'm not able to just fire the shutters for you guys to see. And here, basically, it is as accurate as a Leica MP now, because I have a service last year. Usually one service for a mechanical camera is going to last like 15 years or 10 years. According to the guy, he said it's 20 years. Maybe I just need to keep using that to keep everything lubricated. In my opinion, the cameras are just like cars. You just need to keep driving them every day or from time to time to just kind of make them running and maintain them, because they are built to be used. And as there's no built-in light meter, which is more reliable, means for Leica M2, so I have an external light meter here. If you guys want to learn more about this tiny light meter, I can just shoot another video to have a simple review about that. This light meter is my favorite. It can be mounted onto any camera, and that's that one. So comparing the time frame, this one cost me $1,000, and it takes me 1 month to ship it out, have a service, and send it back. And for this camera here, as it's only a local guy, so I just drive there down in Vancouver and leave the camera there for a couple more days, and I was back for roughly 1 week, and I can pick up the camera, and of course there's no shipping cost, and also the service was much quicker. And for this camera here is a L39 camera, basically a Bernac, like a Bernac 3C. So this camera sent it out to YYE. The main reason why I sent it out to YYE, I just want to compare the service between the local guy and YYE, because YYE is so famous. And for this camera here, I need to pay for the shipping cost both ways. I forget how much was that, but roughly 30 to 40 Canadian dollars. And for servicing a Leica 3 series or 2 series, any L39 cameras, it's going to be 180 US dollars. And if it's like an M mount camera, it's going to be like $40 more, roughly. I don't know the current price, but roughly in that range. And for this camera here, I send it out, sent back, and including the service, in total, that's roughly 2 weeks. And YYE is very responsive on the emails, so it's very quick to reply your emails. If you have any questions, you can just find out his website easily, and he's a very nice guy to talk to. He's very knowledgeable. And that's basically my open box video for this Leica MP. And is it really worth it for Leica to service a camera? I think it's like driving a car to a dealership for service. There are more handy guys who can take care of your cameras as well. And it really depends on you and your budget. I think they are all very nice. YYE, the local guy, the Leica, they all did a great job on my cameras. But I just want to try out different services, and they are all excellent. As long as they're very famous and they have very good reputation in this industry, they're really good. Just because some kind of camera which are having the electronics, so I just want to send to Leica to be safe and to have the right parts. Yeah, that's basically my video. If you guys have any questions, just send me a message or just drop a comment down below, or just follow my Instagram and just send me a direct message. I will reply as soon as possible. And if you guys like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe if possible. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.